Hey, you guys. Welcome to Gemini Moon, the first ever freaking episode of the podcast. I'm super excited. Episode 1. What the hell? I mean, I've wanted to have a podcast for so long, it feels a little bit surreal. So thank you so much for checking in. Checking in. I'm your host, Lisa. I don't know how these things work. I don't know what the right way to do this is. I don't know if there is a right way. But just like everything else that I do, pretty much, I'm just gonna wing it and follow my intuition. So that's kind of what we're going for. I have a very vague outline of kind of what I want to do with this podcast, but I want to keep it open. I'm going to share some of my ideas with you guys tonight. Tonight's just going to be, it might just be super relaxing. It might just be sort of ASMR style. It might just put you to sleep. But, you know, it's essentially just going to be what to expect from the podcast. Some personal information about me, just kind of like an introduction if you guys don't know who I am. And then I thought that we would pull some cards as well at the end. So yeah, essentially that's what I'm going for tonight. We're kind of just gonna like chill, you know what I mean? And as the name doth suggest, Gemini Moon. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you're about to know. And God help us all, or God help you, let's just say. But, you know, I'm really glad that you're here. And I don't know. I feel really humbled. So, yeah, thank you for being with me on all parts of this journey. You know, like I was saying, I kind of just sort of dive into things and just stumble through and do it as like gracefully and authentically simultaneously as I can. Sometimes it works out miraculously well. Other times not so much. So thank you for being with me for the highs and the lows of that. I'm just gonna like fuck around with volume a little bit, so hopefully it's not too annoying for you guys. I just want to make sure that I get the volume levels right and that it's not super freaking loud for you guys. So anyways, still trying to get it figured out. But this is trial run, right? This is number 1. So what to expect from Gemini Moon? Well, it's going to be a lot of musing. It's going to be a lot, you guys, of verbal processing. That's like totally something that I do. And I think that's a Gemini Moon thing. But, you know, it's going to be me sharing some personal ideas and opinions, me exploring some collective ideas and opinions, depending on what's going on in the world around us and what those energies are looking like. It's going to be card pulls to guide conversations about interesting topics, or what I hope are interesting topics, or what I find to be interesting topics. And hopefully those conversations can give us fresh perspectives, or they can cue introspection and self-awareness and growth, or offer us some sage advice. You know what I mean? You can also expect Q&A sections. I think that maybe like, depending on how often I end up, like Gemini Moon, you guys were really just going with the flow of things here, especially because I'm a Pisces sun. So it's like, yay, mutable energy. Let's just like flow where the wind takes us, or where the breeze takes us, or the wave takes us, or, you know, whatever weather sort of weathers our way tends to take us. I don't even know what I'm talking about. See, this is what you can expect from Gemini Moon. I'm just kidding. It'll get better. But I'm not sure. It's going to depend how many times, like how frequently I post to the podcast, which I'm not entirely sure is going to be yet. I think it's going to depend how things flow, you know? And so you don't know until you know. So I'm just going to see how that goes. And probably, though, every few episodes, there will be one that's either solely dedicated to Q&A, or it'll just have a Q&A section at the end. It depends how many questions we get, or I get, I guess. Me, and the angels, and the spirits, and the celestial beings in my living room, and Luna. Yay! Okay, so anyways, that's kind of what you can expect. It's me, I'm bubbly, but I can also be super serious. You know, I'm pretty much a walking contradiction, which is what I think makes me pretty fucking relatable. Because I literally can relate to everything, because I'm like, oh yeah, Gemini moon. I can literally see things from every perspective, and yeah. So I don't know. I think that this podcast is going to be just a safe place to just process, to emote, to connect, to introspect, to grow, and to share. So let me tell you a little bit about me, so you know who you're following down this crazy freaking Alice in Wonderland sort of rabbit hole that we're about to jump down. I don't think that this will give you any more, I don't think this will make you feel any better about things. See, right now, just consider it like the turn back now signs before the haunted house. If you're scared about some dark things, if you're scared about some esoteric, some really deep things, if you're scared to go dark or deep, definitely don't follow me any further than this. I'm a really light person. My spirit is very light, but I've always been really drawn to anything esoteric and mysterious and dark. Scorpio rising probably, and a bunch of 12th house energy and 8th house, moon in my fucking 8th house, you guys. My God. As always, I'm drinking coffee, so if you hear me slurp a little bit, or if you hear me smoke, I might hit the bong, not gonna lie. That's the kind of that's the kind of podcast this is, you guys. So it's pretty spiritual, but above all, it's real and it's raw, and that's kind of my goal for it. So let me get back to introducing myself, which I keep getting off track of doing. All right. So I'm Lisa. I'm from Canada. I live in Calgary, Alberta. It's sort of a hick town on the edge of the Rocky Mountains and the plains, the prairies. It's really freaking beautiful, actually. I grew up in a small town here, and yeah, I live in Calgary now, which I love. Well, actually, I don't like Calgary all that much at all, but don't get me started on that right now. I love the beauty of the place. I've never really connected with the people here, so I'm actually looking to probably uproot myself sometime soon, but that's for another discussion. For now, I'm here. What else can I share about myself with you? More things that make me relatable or quote unquote different. I don't know. A special little snowflake. Well, I'm adopted. My sister and I were both adopted from different families. It was never a weird experience or a traumatic experience or negative or stressful in any way, shape, or form. Actually, I'm pretty good friends with my birth mom, my biological mom, that is. So there's that. I have bipolar, and I'm definitely a massive mental health advocate. Just against stigma, man. Stigma is so shitty. Judgment, self-judgment, judgment from other people. I'm just not here for it. And so I'm definitely a massive mental health advocate. I'm totally a creative and an artist, an esoteric junkie, as we already mentioned, good witch, a bad bitch. You know, your typical kind of your girl next door with a little bit of an edge, and a lot of sarcasm. Let's just go with that. I don't really know how to describe myself. What's that quote from Juno? She says, "I don't really know what kind of girl I am. You know, I don't know what kind of girl I am. I'm just Gemini moon. I'm just Lisa." So, as far as my study background goes, oh God, where shall we start? No, it's not that crazy. I started off studying journalism. I really wanted to go into communications. I was all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I wanted to change the world. I still want to do this, but I'm just doing it in a different way, because like my Pisces super sensitive ass was like, you could never, like, girl, you thought. And this was back before I was even like quote unquote spiritual. I grew up in a super religious home, but I never really got into like a personal and intimate sort of spiritual lifestyle or journey until really a couple years ago, but we'll get more into that in a little bit. So I wanted to change the world through journalism, and I pretty quickly, I got 3 years into my degree, and I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't like be this tapped into the collective energies and like the bad news, how like our society is really messed up in the way that it's constantly framing the news in a negative light. It just was really getting to me and affecting my mental health in a pretty serious way. So I decided to switch. So I I majored in English and poetry for a while. And that was kind of like an in-between stint. And then I switched over to my final resting place, rest in peace, at psychology. And I'm currently working towards my master's so that I can be a therapist. So that's kind of my background. Really interested in psychology and communications, just people essentially. As far as tarot goes, I am a self-taught reader, and my style combines elements of intuitive channeling, mostly intuitive channeling, actually, knowledge of the cards, astrological insight from a total like noob. Like, really take everything that I say with like a grain of salt, as it just being like, you know, my ideas and opinions when it comes to astrology. I'm pretty new kid on the block. New kid on the block. You guys are gonna have to get used to me probably singing and humming as well, because that's something that I do, as well as probably the sound of almost constant shuffling, because I usually have a deck in my hands, not gonna lie. And especially when I get a little bit nervous, which happens frequently, more frequent than not, usually I'm shuffling something. So anyways, my style, it includes intuitive channeling, astrological insight, various like therapy approaches that I have sort of learned in school, and then along with the guidance of the cards themselves and some sarcasm and the occasional pep talk. Essentially, I'm whatever you need me to be. I'm just your girl, you guys. I'm your girl. So interests outside of that, music, travel, the obvious things that everyone says, film, literature, photography, poetry, really all things art, are my heart. My heart beats for all things art. And then psychology, philosophy, the human condition, really like digging into who am I? What is it? What are we doing here? You know, like, I'm all about having those massive fucking breakdowns. Just just a casual end of the world sort of breakdown on a daily basis. That is me and my Pisces sun and my Gemini moon and my Scorpio rising. They love to get together and just be like, it's the end of the world as we know it. And then I overreact. It's fun. So I'm into the human condition. And then like all things esoteric. So like astrology, like we mentioned, crystals, the moon cycles, witchy things. I don't know. I've been getting into just dabbling in lots of different things lately. I don't know. I don't like to call it the law of attraction, but just like manifesting, I guess. Manifesting, poetry, which is essentially spell work, sigils, all sorts of cool things. So if you guys ever hear me talking about something or mentioning something that you find interesting, of course, let me know. Send me an email or comment in the comment section and let me know if you want to hear me talk more about anything that I mention, okay? So, just a brief history on the YouTube channel and the story behind that, how I even got into that. Back in the spring, was it the spring? Yeah, I think it was June, or I think July was the first month that I did the channel. Yeah, July was the first month. So I got fired from my job, which I hated anyways. It was like really just dead end and didn't challenge me at all. Just like a misogynistic sort of like environment. I was really over it. So I got fired from there for essentially speaking up. But whatever. That's another story. And I had free time and I got more into tarot because all I wanted to do ever was play with my cards. And so while I was job hunting, I started the channel and I was like, literally no one's ever going to see these. But I had been sort of filming myself occasionally, doing readings on myself for a little while. Just because there are certain readings that I wanted, like that were important that I wanted videos of. So it was weird how it fell together. Well, not weird how it fell together. There is no such thing as coincidence. We all know the universe is a motherfucker, a sly little motherfucker. But it had really essentially been preparing me for YouTube. So it's interesting because I started the channel and I was like, no one is ever going to see these videos, but I'll post them and it'll just be fun and it'll be a way of me challenging myself, pushing my comfort zone, just putting whatever me out there. And that was July. And now we just passed 15,000 subscribers just the other day, which is super crazy and amazing. So essentially, start the YouTube channel, start the podcast, do the thing. If you want my advice in terms of that sort of thing, do the thing. Go with the flow, just jump in, build your wings on the way down, kick yourself out of the nest and grow, because this channel has just been amazing. And in terms of future plans and like the goal that I'm working towards, it's definitely to merge my psychology, like my therapy practice, with my spirituality and with tarot, and just create something holistic. I don't agree with spirituality and science always being at odds with one another. I think that they actually, if you're open-minded, I think they actually complement and coexist. They complement one another and they coexist with one another quite well, actually. So that's sort of my belief system, and my future plans are to kind of hopefully integrate them all. Hopefully get to a point where I can travel and do like meetups with you guys so we can read cards in person. I can get to know you and we can just be a community. We can be a tribe. We can be a fam. So I'm really looking forward to what that kind of holds. I'm just kind of gonna go on like a little bit of an awkward gratitude ramble before we get into the card talk. I like how I'm calling it. I know that it's going to be an awkward gratitude ramble from the beginning. But, and sorry, if you hear like a little, like, if you hear tinking, it's just like, it's my jewelry that I wear. So yeah, hopefully that's not annoying for you guys. But, I just wanted to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for letting me stumble and flow and shift and grow and do it all unapologetically and feel supported and understood through it all. The murk and the mess and the sweet upswings and the grief. I feel seen. And truthfully, I'm still sorting out a balance between being really empowered and completely terrified by that, because I've always kind of moved through life feeling like a little bit alien, feeling like a fish on land, I guess, longing for a home that I've known but never known at the same time. So it's all very humbling, an epic freaking shakeup, and I feel like I'm in like a perpetual state of slipping on hidden ice and doing one of those like super fucking flaily almost falls that I then try to like moonwalk out of. Or something like, I meant to do that. Totally. Yep. Gonna try to make the absolute ungrace of it all look cool. But then again, like, you guys help me see where I'm just being unnecessarily hard on myself and I'm actually doing a better job than I always feel like I am as well. And so this channel and community has helped me face so many of my deepest discomforts. And I'm so grateful, honestly. I'm so freaking grateful. And I will keep on pushing myself, I guess, to just be like as naked and as giving as I can be. Because even that in itself is a big part of like my path too. I'm a life path number 8. Yay. Which essentially means that like we're meant to, it has a lot to do with money and power. And it's like those are the uncomfortable parts of life for us, but those are the things that we're meant to sort of tackle in this lifetime and take on in this lifetime. But there's this quote by Neil Gaiman that I wanted to share with you guys that I just came to mind that I find sort of fitting. And he said, the moment that you feel that just possibly you're walking down the street naked, exposing too much of your heart and your mind and what exists on the inside, showing too much of yourself, that's the moment you may be starting to get it right. And that is kind of like the goal for me. That's the aim. And seriously, you let me do all these things that I love that help me grow and give to this world. And I just get to do them. Like I just get to do them and you appreciate them. Like surreal. It's surreal. I can verbally process for hours on any topic and come to these like clear, interesting insights that help me, and you guys listen to me podcast. I get to study psychology and spirituality and tarot and communications and art and tie it all into this like weird culmination of random offerings, which is my gift to you, my mess. You're welcome. But again, I think there's something to be said for being as fucking authentic as possible in a society that frames and plastics and whitewashes everything. And also for not doing it alone, which is both an easy out and a death of sorts, because to be human is to be relational, like it's how we're built. community, family, tribe. We need it. And you're my it. That's it. So, yeah, it's still very, very much me versus the ego in terms of like why anyone would care at all what I have to say or how I feel. Like, who am I, you know? But then it's kind of like that's the point, to ask, to seek, who am I? And why not use any gifts that I have to try and help other people as they ask and they seek? And why not, like, not do it alone? Why not just, here's a novel idea, not do it alone? So that's kind of my goal for this podcast. And I'm really stoked to have you guys along on this ride with me. I love you very, very much. If you couldn't tell from the gratitude ramble that came just now. So, and how awkward I get when I talk. Because I care about you guys. I really do. And this community really does mean so much to me. So again, thank you. All right. I think that we're going to get into some card talk now. So the way that I think I'm going to do this was just my initial thought. You guys can totally let me know what you think about this. I'm really, if you hadn't noticed, laid back, super chill, grounded energy, and definitely really open-minded, open to suggestions, constructive criticism, of course. Like, don't be an asshole. I mean, you can be, and I won't care, but it would just kind of be a little bit unnecessary and uncool. But essentially, I think that we're going to start with specific topics when specific topics are requested by you guys or when I have a theme for a certain time. But overall, I think we're just going to pull a collective energy archetype. So just check in on where the collective energies are at overall. Dig into that, see what we feel about that, if there's anything interesting to chat about there. And then I think I'm just going to use like different oracle decks and a few tarot cards to get sort of the message topic that the universe wants to talk to us about. And then I'll just do like a mini spread and see sort of what do we need to know about this topic that the universe has given us? Why is it important for us to know? And some advice before we kind of like close out. So essentially it's going to be verbal processing, probably a bunch of rambling, depending on where I'm at emotionally and mentally. It might be you guys, it's a podcast called Gemini Moon. How stable did you think this thing was really gonna be? Let's be fucking honest here. Okay, so the card talk section. Let's get down to some business. I'm not gonna worry about how long this is. I don't know how long I've been recording so far. I'm not gonna really pay too much attention. I'm just gonna watch mostly to make sure that I'm not running out of battery. But I think that for this part, I'm pretty much just I'm going to move over to my table because I'm just lounging in my big reading chair right now. I'm going to move over to the table with a deck of cards and just start pulling, start shuffling. And this part of the reading, or this part of, not the reading, the episode is going to be pretty freaking relaxing. I think if the rest of it hasn't already been, this is kind of how it's going to be. So a little bit ASMR style. Some of them I might even make like ASMR noises if you guys are interested in that. You guys can let me know. I've gotten like recently so addicted to ASMR. It's a problem, but the best problem ever. Who doesn't want to listen to like bubble wrap sounds like while you're falling asleep? You guys, it like just your brain just tingles. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm gonna move us over to the table so that we can hear some shuffling noises that sound really nice and therapeutic. And I'll start pulling some cards for us so that we can dive into card talk and see what the universe has to say. Okay, so I'll see you there in just one freaking second. Hey, you guys, we are back. I'm situated over at my table and I've got some space in front of me to shuffle and start pulling a couple cards. So, what I'm going to do first is pull an energy archetype card for the collective. Actually, what I'm going to do first is hit the bong. Seems about time because, you know, as you can imagine, there are a few heavy collective energies happening right now around the world. And as much as I am here to discuss it, I am not here for the anxiety of it. So I will be smoking. Join me. Or don't, but you know, feel free to if you want. Just gonna give these a shuffle, get some energy flowing. I hope that this is therapeutic for you guys. I'm gonna have to listen back to it after I finish recording and see how the sound levels were and whether the shuffling sounds obnoxious or, you know, relaxing, whether my voice sounds obnoxious or relaxing. So bear with me while I get everything under control when it comes to the podcast and my life in general, you know, all around. If you could just give me like a hall pass, that would be pretty dope. Or a hall pass? What am I talking about? A free pass is what I'm trying to say. Have I already hit the bong? What's happening here? All right. So, everybody. Smoke weed every day. Okay. Give me 1 second. Right. That's better. Let's just ease into this one, shall we? Because I can already feel the energies. So, let me just pull an energy archetype card here. Okay. Okay, so what's the collective energy archetype that we're moving through right now? On a collective scale, what energy archetype are we moving through? Okay. The Bardo. That's really fucking interesting. You guys, I'm covered in goosebumps. Okay. Wait until I explain to you what this card is about. And this is a huge deck that this card just came out of. Dude, sometimes tarot is freaky as fuck, okay? You gotta understand that even as a tarot reader, there's gonna be times you're gonna be so weirded out and just like, I don't fucking understand. I'm doing it, but I don't know how I'm doing it. You know what I mean? One of those moments. But the Bardo card is all about sort of like a transitionary in-between state where... Okay, I'm just going to read it to you from the book because I feel like it's going to be powerful that way. So it's the liminal, the in-between, the transition. It is said that the Bardo is a place between this life and the next, a liminal realm through which souls pass. Envisioning this inherently mysterious space creates the potential for us to rise above the concerns of this world and see our relationships through a cosmic and timeless lens. We may receive messages from those who are no longer with us or see visions of lives not yet lived. In the Bardo, there is potential to forgive the unforgivable, to say the unsaid, to see the unseen, to love the unloved, to let go of all the things that cause us pain. The Bardo suspends us in its spaciousness for just long enough to open us to higher wisdom. Its energy does not belong to Earth as we know it, but rather to the cosmic network of which we are a single thread. And then it says, when the veil between this life and the next is thinned, energy is stirred. This allows for remarkable healing and vision. Dude, you cannot make this up. This is so, wow, that's crazy. Because if that's not the energy that we're sort of in right now as a collective, then I don't know what is. Okay. I'm just going to pull 2 oracle cards and a few tarot cards to just add to that overall energy. And then we're going to do the spread to just dig into things a little bit. We're pretty much just going to go with the flow, super low key. So you guys know me. Hopefully you're okay with that. Hopefully it's relaxing to you. I had this really close guy friend and we would talk for like hours on the phone because he didn't live anywhere near me. And his like favorite thing was talking to me at night when I would be shuffling or like pulling cards for readings and like humming to myself. And he'd just be like, okay, I'm just gonna stay on the phone until I like fall asleep because this is the most relaxing thing ever. So hopefully you guys find it to be soothing as well. It's Lisa chats, cards, shuffles. Shuffles for the soul. Fuck chicken noodle soup. We got tarot shuffles for the soul. Okay. What message do we need to hear right now? What message do we most need to hear right now? Okay, the first card is generous people have more to give. Generous people have more to give. We'll take one from the Moonology deck. It's the Blue Moon card, believe in the impossible. Wow, these energies. So we got the Bardo, this place where the veil is thin between this world and the next, where, something thins the veil. Maybe sickness, maybe a mass epidemic, maybe sickness and death, all around us. The Bardo, yeah, that's where we're at. I'm just going to pull a couple tarot cards to go with this to clarify, and then we'll get started on the spread. But the Bardo is about this space, this place of spaciousness, where within that really uncomfortable spot, humanity essentially has a chance to step up, And it's funny that this message is coming through because I don't know if any of you guys watch The Quietest Revolution. You should if you don't. Amber, she's amazing. She's so amazing. There's no way of describing her that does her justice. You just have to go watch the channel and check her out. She's amazing. She's a bad bitch. An epic bad bitch. Okay, we've got our tarot cards to start. Wow. But she was talking about this the other day. She was talking about how this is a chance for humanity to step up, to bond together, to show that we are worthy of creation, essentially, is the way that she put it, which I thought was really beautiful. Because I think that humankind without like really strong purpose and connectiveness, we just kind of shrivel, we get lost, we get corrupt, we get, all sorts of things. And I think that the Bardo is one of those energies that we're moving through that's really, it's really clarifying in the sense that it just strips all illusion away. It's like you're either there for the person, your neighbor, or you're not. You're either hoarding toilet paper and, not sharing supplies, or you're helping like people that are more susceptible, or the elderly, or children, or whoever is around that is going to be more deeply affected, possibly much more deeply affected than you. And I think that that's where these oracle cards come in. Generous people have more to give. The fact that hoarding things, like giving things away, especially your time, your energy, your resources, being generous does not mean that like your well is going to run dry. In fact, generous people, they pretty much, because energy doesn't like being stagnant. That's not its natural state. It likes to be in flow, Generous people, I feel like, have sort of mastered that flow where they give of themselves, of all the different sorts of resources that they have, very naturally. And for that reason, things come to them. It's like they're responsible with what they have, in the sense that they are responsible to other people to be generous with what they have as well. And know that they're not losing out by helping other people. If anything, you gain the more that you give. And so then we have this blue moon card, believe in the impossible. This is very like poignant, straight to the point energies, you guys, right? Believe in the impossible. Humanity, we have a chance to show them what we're made of. Show them our guts. What are we really here for? What really gives meaning to our lives? The interconnectivity of all things, the relationship, no man is an island, the human condition, humanity, the fact that there is more that unites us than divides us. And I think that we forget that a lot of the time. And so to believe in the impossible, to believe in the best of humanity in times like these, hope is a dangerous fucking weapon to yield in the best way possible. It's been proven. There's studies, lots of studies to prove that in like cancer patients, people who have like a will to live, people who believe that they're going to be survivors, have such a higher rate of survival than those that have a pessimistic view. Those in camps at Holocaust, or during the Holocaust, in concentration camps, it's been said as well that the people who managed to survive were the ones that never gave up the will to live. And so it's time for us to believe in ourselves individually and believe in ourselves collectively, and step up individually and step up collectively for each other, for humanity, for the world, because we've been irresponsible. It's true, for too long. And now there are consequences. The tarot cards that came out are the Hermit and the Five of Swords in reverse. Yeah. See, now it's time for us to learn a lesson. And where we go to learn that lesson is within. Because it would be easy to give up. It'd be easy to just feel the despair, feel defeated. But the Five of Swords in reverse is also a card of deceit and ambiguity. In uncertain times, the truth that we seek is always within us. The light that's going to guide us, the star that the hermit is searching for, is always actually within him the whole time. Plot twist. So I think that's really the message of these cards and the overarching energy, which I find to be extremely beautiful. So I'm just going to move the energy archetype cards out of the way. And I'm gonna pull some tarot cards from my Spolia deck. My Spolia deck is literally my favorite deck, you guys. It's an extension of me, basically. It's like I'm emotional about it. Like it's my deck. I'm like protective over it. It's my deck. We've had experiences together. We've seen some shit, you guys. But it's like an old friend, but I have like a first edition one. I was one of the first people that got it, and it's really getting so old. It's like on its last leg. I feel like I'm about to retire it. So first person to gift me the Spolia tarot deck gets like a free reading or something. I feel like I need to reinvest in these cards stat. They are like my lifeblood. They're so amazing. So gorgeous. Those are nice sounds, hey? I feel like that's relaxing to listen to. And apparently I sound like Selena Gomez. I don't know. The only thing I heard when I listened to her was that we are both sort of nasally. Well, we are nasally. I'm definitely nasally. But, okay. A little bit more of a shuffle. 'Cause we're not in a hurry, right? Who's going somewhere? Are you going somewhere? I'm not going anywhere. I'm just chilling with you. Chilling with you. It's funny. Your energies, even just like in spirit, because obviously as I record this, you're not listening to it yet, but your energies like in the 5D realm are still comforting me, because I was putting off, starting the podcast because I'm nervous, it's new, it's scary, it's a risk, it's like, I don't know, it's scary. So I was like feeling like I was just putting it off. I was anxious a little bit. But when I start talking to you guys, it's like you put me at ease very much. So, and I got this really beautiful comment on YouTube today from this girl who was sort of saying, essentially that, fuck, I wish I had my phone, but I put it away so that it wouldn't distract me while I was doing this. She essentially said that I somehow managed to attract the perfect people who are on the same sort of journey as I am, who my messages and my voice, for whatever reason, just really speak to in a really deep and poignant way. And that's like a crazy thing, and not crazy because there are no coincidences, like I said before, but like crazy, like that's something the universe is like totally has got its hands in, which is super exciting, because it's like the universe has its hands in my life purpose, you guys. The universe is like sticking its fucking fingers and poking around and making a mess of my life, but still the honor is mine. I mean, come on. It's the fucking universe, you guys, okay? So, Let's pull some cards. I'm a loser. I'm also stoned. Gloriously stoned. I hope that you're stoned too, because it's wonderful. But if you're not, you're still cool. It's all good. If you thought I was laid back when I'm sober, you get me stoned and I'm just like, peace and love, baby. Love is the only currency. Yeah, my Pisces really fucking pops. Okay. So, what do we need to know right now about this? So the topic really is, let's see, it's looking within in uncertain times to find hope and generosity. So strength, hope, and generosity found through looking within for strength in uncertain times, okay? That's kind of our theme. And this transitionary period that we're moving through right now. So what do we need to know right now about this period that we're going through collectively, about the need to look within, about these ambiguous sort of deceptive smoke and mirrors, Twilight Zone-y sort of times that we're living in right now. Nothing really seems real, you know. Does it to you guys? Feels not real to me. Okay. What we need to know right now about this. What we need to know about this. The Ace of Wands and the Tower in reverse. Whew. With the Magician and the Six of Wands in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse and the King of Cups in reverse. Holy shit. Wow, you guys. The cards. Just blah, 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 blah. As per usual. Okay. So, the Ace of Wands and the Tower in reverse. Let's start here. Actually, let's just forget this whole thing at the bottom of the deck because I'm just going to get sidetracked. But, you know, maybe we'll touch on that in a sec. But essentially what we need to know most about this right now is I feel like this is a cleansing transitionary period. Not cleansing in the sense that we're weeding out the weak physically and we're like killing off everybody with this, but cleansing in the sense that it's making everybody zoom out and see like that from that big picture perspective. It's the same way that like a death of someone that's felt like globally on a really grand scale is felt. You know what I mean? Like think about the day that Kobe Bryant's helicopter went down and his daughter, himself, and then a bunch of other really beautiful people lost their lives. Right? That was one that was, because he was just epic. It was massively felt, right? And whatever, however you feel about him, I don't care, but I'm just using it as an example, you know what I mean, so that you understand my vibe, what I'm saying. So essentially it's clarifying in the sense that it almost calibrates humanity all at the same time. It's like snaps in front of us, like open your eyes, the universe, open your eyes collectively. And so much of the world hears it and opens their eyes all at the same time. It's really powerful energy, and it's cleansing in that sense that it's almost like a surge of fresh energy and potential that comes through us all at once, right? So we've got the Ace of Wands energy, which is this like insanely passionate, inspirational phoenix rising energy. Very like Aries-esque, just brand new and ready to go. And then we've got the Tower in reverse right next to it. And the Tower in reverse is about being imprisoned by the delusion of like avoiding change. Just the same old, going about doing something a way that's not working and being imprisoned by that, almost by like I don't know, it's like being in bondage to the heritage of the thing, or not the heritage, but like the tradition of it or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like getting stuck essentially in a rut. And just the same old. Doing something for the sake of doing it for maybe dogma's sake, because it's the way that we've always done things, you know, why are we questioning it, sort of thing. And I feel like with the Tower in reverse, this is like those things, it's when our eyes are shut. Those energies come up when our eyes are shut, when we grow stagnant and incoherent, and we stop seeing and hearing and really living, and we start getting into existing mode, which I think that we've been in for some time as humanity, you know? Moving into this state where we're supposedly more connected than ever, but really we feel more disconnected and depressed than ever, studies show. And it's like, which one is it? Can it be both? What do you think? Existential questions, my friends. Brought to you by Gemini Moon. Endorsements. So, what else do we need to know about this? What else do we need to know about this? Let's get one or two more cards here. But essentially, this was a shakeup, and it happened because we grew stagnant, because we grew, I think, comfortable in our egos. We got comfortable in our egos, and we forgot what freedom and joy and living actually feels like. The Four of Wands. The Four of Wands. The Ace of Wands, the Tower in reverse, and the Four of Wands. See, the Tower energy came to shake down everything that was preventing us from having this new, from blooming, from being in full bloom. The Ace of Wands, this new jolt of energy that we need, this fresh start that we need, this new way of seeing, and this collective way of seeing in the same way at the same time, so that we can come together for fucking once and all be on the same goddamn side. You know what I mean? Peace and love, baby. I say it again. The Four of Wands, because literally what I was just saying, tarot is so fucking weird, but like, we forgot how to live. We were just existing. The Four of Wands is a card of living, man. Excuse me while I move around on my chair. I'm rustling. I'm a rustler. I'm a rustler, baby. I'm so lame. I'm going to smoke more because that will make me less lame. All right. Let us pull some clarifiers for these and get a little more info. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands. Why? Why the Ace of Wands? Why do we need to know about the Ace of Wands? I like the way this is going. Like I said before, I definitely love constructive criticism, feedback, your opinions, your comments, your input in everything. In the channel. Well, not in everything. There are certain things that I honestly do not care much for your input on. But things surrounding, that are actually relevant to you, that you actually would make sense for you to have a say in, like the channel and the podcast. Since they are services created for you. I'm not just talking to myself here, just yelling out into the void. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that was a fail. That was super cringy. Wasn't it? Okay. Cringe Fest 2020. The Star. The Ace of Wands, clarified by the fucking star. With Justice at the bottom of the deck. Oh, good. Okay. Good. And the Four of Swords in reverse under that. Yeah, this is a wake-up call. And the Star, Aquarius season. This is so Aquarian energy. The shakedown, the breakdown, the dismantling of what does not serve the higher good and maybe never did, but is now poignantly, blatantly black and white, just in a spotlight, clear as day, not right, not helping, clearly hindering, and so the time is come to make a choice. Are we gonna keep living in ignorance, just doing the same thing, same old, or are we going to accept this new beautiful energy and be these fearless warriors? Let's clarify the Tower in reverse. And with the Star too, it's remembering what wish fulfillment is, remembering what healing is, remembering what unity looks like. Like I said before, there's far more that unites us than divides us. I think that was like Martin Luther King. In one of his speeches, he talks a lot about that. Clarify the Tower in reverse. But yeah, I like the way that it's going, that it's just kind of flowing. It's very relaxing. At least I'm very relaxed. So let me know how you feel. Excuse me. Okay, the High Priestess. Clarifying the Tower in reverse. Wow. Not too much Major Arcana. And Judgment's at the bottom of the deck again. Are you kidding? You guys heard me just shuffle for like forever. Okay. I rest my point. The High Priestess clarifying. Can I talk for a second? Clarifying the Tower in reverse. I feel like we've been thrown into a period of darkness when nothing is certain, so that we're forced to see with different eyes. A different kind of sight. You guys know what I mean, right? Humanity is needing to step up. We're needing to ascend. And I feel like this is the universe's way of saying, hey, open your third eye. Hey, get in tune. Get in touch with your higher self. Wake up, wake up, wake the fuck up. Wake up. Judgment at the bottom of the deck. There are things that need reconciling. Strength in reverse underneath that. There are things that have been stagnant, that have gotten rusty, that have fallen apart, that have grown weak. Things that need to be renewed. The Four of Wands. We need to learn how to live again, to truly live. The Four of Swords in reverse, the Three of Cups in reverse, and the Lovers. Fuck. This is really all Moulin Rouge, like all you need is love up in here right now. truth, love, and freedom. I mean, the cards are really helping me just like be myself. My hopeless romantic, like ever the optimistic self. The Four of Swords in reverse. What does remembering how to live look like? It looks like getting over this fear that we somehow built of one another. We used to just interact with ease, and now it's like we're more connected than ever, but it's all fake and we can't just like be with each other anymore. The Four of Swords in reverse, a return to the world. A return to the world. An unquiet mind or soul that pulls you out of yourself, pulls you back to the world, or or an increase in stress with that unquiet mind or unquiet soul that pulls you out of yourself. There's the need to get out of hermit mode for us. You know, we have been in our own heads intimately for too damn long. We're relational beings. We're meant to be interacting with each other. The Three of Cups in reverse. Exactly. A loss of contentment, numbness, failure of friendships, and then like just a lack of gratitude and just overindulgence in self, in the ego. This is energies of people that are just like on the, like running on the hamster wheel. You know what I mean? Like I said, people that have just gotten numb, people that are existing, not living. We as a society are a little bit sick, you know? It's okay. It's okay. Humanity is imperfect, but we need to be aware of it. And we need to come together, not isolate. The Lovers is the last card that came out. We need to stop isolating. We need to stop shutting one another out. We need to stop framing things and plastic wrapping things and putting filters on things and just be real with each other, heart to heart, soul to soul, the Lovers. Fuck the ego. The ego doesn't have to die, but it needs to sit this one out for sure. Okay, so advice. Let's get some advice on that note. But yeah, the universe is really like, yo, I'm the universe and I'm doing this for a fucking reason. You guys are idiots. You need to hit the reset button collectively on a grand scale. Here's a chance to do so. And then just kind of sent our world into chaos. And we have a choice now, whether to let it divide us or to bond together and show each other, ourselves, and anything bigger than us that's out there what we're fucking made of. Like Ember said, for the creation to prove worthy of its creation, of its existence. What are we here for? Really? Okay, advice for us in regards to this situation. What can we best do then? How does this play out in our daily life? How does this look in a practical sense? I love you guys. I hope you know that. I really do. Don't know how to explain it. Love you without even knowing you, but I feel like I do know a lot of you now, which is really lovely. But the others of you just know that I feel your energy and I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate your support, your belief in me, even though sometimes I don't necessarily understand it. I appreciate it. The Three of Coins. Yeah. We need to collaborate, like just in pure, practical, simplistic terms. We need to work together. We can't do this whole one man or every man for their own, each man to their own. It's not going to work. It's not how humanity works. If we isolate, we die. Isolation is just as harmful to humans over time as like starvation, or you know what I mean? It's a type of starvation because we're relational. And there's the need to just show some fucking decency to one another. The Knight of Swords, the King of Coins in reverse, and the Queen of Coins. With the Eight of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So, this is the note that we're going to end on for the tarot portion, I think. The Knight of Swords. So the Three of Coins, the Knight of Swords, the King of Coins in reverse, and the Queen of Coins. So interesting. Fuck. Enough Pentacles energy. Well, I did ask how we could, practically make this situation better, right? Ask and you shall receive. Okay. We need to collaborate. We need to work together. We need to be fucking humble. It can't be all about us as individuals, as much as society for so long has placed this crazy weight on autonomy and being a special little snowflake and, being unique, and that's important. Being individualistic, it's important, of course it is. But being part of the collective consciousness will always be more important. Will always be more powerful, will always be what we are, what we are each just a part of, but it is the whole. It's powerful. So there's the need to, again, realize that unifying force, to really feel it, to let it open our eyes, to let it soften our guards, to let it make us vulnerable in the best way possible so that we can work together in ways that we've forgotten how to. The Knight of Swords, so that we can slice through the veil. We can transition together in this time of uncertainty and grief and sickness and fear. We can find solutions together, but the King of Coins in reverse, it's only going to happen when the king becomes a servant. That's what this is making me think of. It's very like Jesus Christ-esque. When a king becomes a servant, when we all bond together, when we all get on common ground, because we are all humans, souls having a human experience. Wow. We forget, don't we? We forget that, there's no place for fucking judgment. Who gives a shit what color your skin is, man? I love you. Earlier when I was like, I wish the only currency could be love, you have no idea how much I actually meant that. But, the Queen of Coins. we're not meant to lose that autonomy. We're not meant to lose that independent strength, but it's a self-reliance that is strong for something. Like the Queen of Coins is strong for herself so she can be strong for her family, so she can be loyal and strong and supportive for the people she loves, so she can provide and do that the best through taking care of herself the best first and knowing herself really, really well. So yeah, this is a period of time where we're all going through massive phases of self, like enlightenment and ascension, getting to know ourselves better, growing, taking massive leaps forwards in personal evolution, which is amazing. But the last card, the Eight of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck. I feel like the universe is just giving us this reminder and just saying, just chill. Just take 1 second. The world is in a state of chaos, turmoil, anxiety. You know, everyone's losing their shit. To put it not so eloquently. But the Eight of Wands in reverse, just sit still for a second. I feel like the universe is like, yo, yes, I'm causing this tower moment. I'm bringing it in. And yes, it's all for a purpose. But you need to let the dust settle for a second. Stop sweeping it up and making a big commotion. You know, let the dust settle and then rise like the phoenix from it. And remember what it is to live and live again. And I feel like it's from the ashes that comes the age of Aquarius, this beautiful time of healing. And yeah, I don't know. So I think I'm going to leave the card talk portion there. I'm really stoked about how this went, you guys. Thank you so fucking much for joining me again. I appreciate you so much for listening to me babble and talk for this long. Again, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section. Thank you as always. Just it's an honor that you choose to spend your time with me at all. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel, comment, like, share, subscribe, and comment for the podcast as well, of course, if you enjoy it. So that other people can enjoy it as well. You can always email questions or topic suggestions to me, and the information for that is in the info box below, along with information on how to donate, which you can do directly or you can do by donating a deck, as I mentioned earlier, which is like my favorite thing in the whole entire world to receive a deck. I totally geek out every time one comes in the mail. So my Amazon wish list is linked below if you're interested in doing that, or if you want to send me one from Etsy or something a little more obscure, you can just contact me directly through my email. If you want to book me for a private reading, or if you want to follow me on any other form of social media, all the info for that is all in either a pinned comment or the info box below, depending on where you're streaming or listening to the podcast from. So again, thank you for joining this ever thoughtful, sometimes erratic, slightly scattered Gemini moon for episode 1 of this journey that I hope you'll take with me, and I look forward to every fucking step of with you guys. I appreciate all of you. I love you so very much. Take care. Until next time. Mwah. Bye.